Oh my gosh, you're back with
Yeah.
another hit song, and it just doesn't stop. You know, every time I see you, G, it's like, all right, you're getting ready to put out a project. It either turns enormous or you come and see us after it's been enormous. And I love No Limit. You know, right when we heard that, Katrina and I, all of us, you know, we were like, yes, and you got Cardi on it. How did that come about, getting Cardi and Rocky on the song?
Me and Rocky made it on the spot. I was at the studio, and I was at the studio where they got like they print like the name on the door, whoever session it is.
Right.
And yeah, the next room over said Rocky, so you know, I just tapped in. Like, I've known him forever, and we were just tapping in, just catching up, just whatever. And I was playing him, you know, some of the album, and I was working with Boy Wonder that night.
Nice.
So you know, he was like, "What you got? Like, let's pick a beat. Let's just make something." And you know, did it right there on the spot. We were just bouncing ideas, and then he said that if I hit it one time, and I was like, "That's the hook. Go cut that."
Is that real though? When you really break it down, like, you know, all the ladies right now are like, "Well, if he does it twice, well, you know, there's a better chance." Is that how it works? I've been out that world for so long.
Yeah, this one right now. Yeah. Yeah, it was the third time.
Oh gosh,
I'll leave that story right there. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, back to the song.
Yeah.
You know, we just did it on the spot, and then you know, I did 2 verses, and I was thinking like, you know, who would sound really good on this, and we were just brainstorming, and I had met Cardi about a year ago. I played a show with her, and I remember just watching her show.
Yeah.
You know, like, cause I'm a fan of music, and I love watching people perform. I think that's where you really can tell, you know, what they're like as an artist. They're there in the flesh, like in front of real humans. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's a very big aspect of, you know, of your whole career. So watching her perform, I was just convinced, like, instantaneously. You know, I was already a fan, like, of her whole movement, you know, and
so
everything
authentic.
around it. So authentic. And, you know, that authenticity really comes through on stage. And I was like, yo, I got to work with her one day. You know, so we were talking backstage, and just, we sent her the record, and she knocked it out, like, that night.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is so cute right now. I love this. Okay, so you and Rocky were in the studio together, and then you guys just sent the record to Cardi, and it was done.
Yeah, and then it was done like that.
Did you think it was going to be as big as it is right now?
I mean, you can never tell, ever. That's the thing about music. I mean, you can be in the studio, and you can be like, this looks like a hit, this smells like a hit, this sounds like a hit. It don't matter. It's about people. People have to react to it. And that's, you know, when you put it out there and you see what the reaction is, and then this one just caught, you know what I mean? Like wildfire, and it just went. So I just feel super blessed, because you never know. And, you know, we threw it out, and it's, you know, I'm grateful that it's doing so well. I'm grateful that y'all
are you
supporting
kidding?
the hell out of it. I mean, this is my, like, you gotta imagine, for me, you know, being from the Bay, obviously, and then just like being out here, it's like,
and we
every time I hear your voice, I'm like, yo, that's us. You know what I mean? She's representing, But when I hear my song on the radio in New York, and I hear it as much as y'all have been playing it, that's like, I still, you know what I mean? I probably look goofy, but I'm like Instagramming in the car, like, yo, I'm in New York, I'm in Times Square, and they're playing my song. Like, this is what a younger me would have, you know, been tripping over. So, and I'm still tripping over. So
I was going to say, you're always humble. Every time any type of success happens to you, I don't feel like it's old news, I did that. It's like, oh, I still can't believe it's happening for me right now. Let's talk about the album. So curious. I heard Jadakiss is going to be on it. Is that true?
Nah, me and Jada did a record.
Okay.
Yeah, we put that out. That's already out. I made a lot of music for this album. We did over 100 songs.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I built a studio in my house, and I just went in there every night.
Oh, that's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah. So, it just didn't stop working, and then they had to pull me out of there.
Of
you
course.
know, and yank me out of the studio and be like, it's good. We have enough. You know, thank you. Your job's over.
Yeah.
We need you to come do this now. And, you know, I love making music. And I love, at this stage in my career, I can reach out to a Jada.
Yeah.
You know, somebody I've listened to, you know, since I was a little young Gerald.
Yeah.
And I can reach out to him and say, you know, I really want to do a record. And he's like, nah, we need to do that. Like, for real.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Crazy. Yeah. And he gassed it. And it was a song I had made while I was here. So I like to record in different cities, because you always kind of get a slightly different energy.
I like this.
Working with artists from different, you know, areas, you're going to get a little bit of their energy. So I was working with Remo, who's from here. And he did a couple records with me in the past. He's done I Mean It. He did Everything Will Be Okay with Kehlani.
Nice.
Yeah. So those were polar opposite records.
Complete.
So every time I go to him, I get something different. And we have made this song called Get It Back. And Jada hopped on it and, yeah, blessed it.
So what and who is going to be on the album, if you could tell us anything?
Yeah. There's some people on the album.
Some?
A few friends of mine. Yeah.
Close friends or
yeah,
friends along the way
close friends. Yeah. Well, you know, some of both. I mean, it's been a long journey. You know, I have my day ones on it. Kehlani's on it.
Yes.
Yeah. That's just like certain people like Kehlani, certain people like Unc, like E40.
Yeah.
Like that's every single album. You know, I have to like almost before I ship it, it's like it has to go through Unc first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What do you think?
That's the seal of approval. When I get my 40 verse, then
Yeah.
the album is good to go. You know, same thing with Kehlani. Eventually, I want to just do like a ton of music with her.
I was gonna say how that would be so great just to do an album, a collab of you two together.
Nah, I mean that'd be beautiful. A tour to bring it back to, you know, that first tour we did. I mean, she's just like, I don't know how else to explain it, but that's like a sister to me.
Oh, absolutely.
We just kindred spirits. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah.
Is everyone so happy for you back home?
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
I was just home. I went home to see my grandma and just check on her, and just it's hard. I mean, we were just talking about this. It's like when you leave home and, you know, you're chasing your dreams, and your dreams bring you to a new city or a new place, or, you know, opportunities are blessings.
Yes.
But opportunities can also become, you know, exhausting. It's like we work hard, you know, and with that, you know, it comes. It's hard to take time off and just go back home.
It is.
You know what I mean? You literally have to carve out that time. And, you know, I did. I went back just to check on my grandma who's getting old and just spend some time with her. And then I just tapped in, just was going to every club, just playing No Limit just for the love.
I mean, they already rocking
everywhere.
with you. But yeah, you know,
you go home. But I just loved it, you know what I'm saying?
It's
be there.
home.
Yeah, and just be in it. You know what I mean? And I was jumping in the crowd at every club and just, you know what I'm saying? So it was fun for me, just, you know.
Gosh, what a great feeling right now. Anything else you want to tell us about the album? Because I'm very curious. I like the name, The Beautiful and the Damned.
Yeah. I mean, it's a double album. It's The Beautiful and it's The Damned. It's really about celebrity and about the fantasy of chasing this dream you have and, you know, 5-6 years later ending up, you know, you took this yellow brick road that, you know, you thought you would lead to one place and you get there and it's like, you know, maybe this isn't as beautiful as I thought it would be. There's this dark side to it. You know, am I the person that I thought I would become, you know, and try to maintain that core, that sense of self, that Gerald,
Right.
you know, and not just completely become G-Eazy and just let this whole thing destroy you, this celebrity, this fame, this like Hollywood lifestyle, this, you know what I mean? The crazy things that come along with it.
The last time we did an interview, I think it was kind of like, beginning of that road, but kind of the fun. Right?
Yeah,
it was like, I'm excited and it's popping and now talking to you, I feel there's so much growth. I'm happy and I'm also what have you learned? I guess what's the one thing that's you've learned the hard way along this journey?
To look in the mirror and, you know, keep your head on straight. You know, there's a lot of distractions. You know, not to depend on anything, any substance, any, you know, whatever you need to get you through it, to get you there, you know, because, you know, that stuff can, you know, turn you around and all of a sudden, you know, you ended up here and you're leaning on it a little too heavily.
Yeah.
So, you know, maintaining that, like, that sense of self, and that's looking in the mirror and checking yourself and keeping the right people around you, you know, and just always being mindful.
Have you had to let go of people along this road?
Yeah. And, you know, some, you know, just by their doing and some by my doing. You know what I mean? I've made bad decisions that have cost me relationships and having to deal with that and being like, you know what I mean? Like you lying or you cheating or you doing this or you being too tempted by, you know, these desires that are all around you literally every single night in this lifestyle. You know, you got sucked into this thing, you know, this like ego fulfilling, like Braley, like roller coaster lifestyle of, you know, of this whole thing. And it costs you, some, some relationships that are valuable. So it's a long journey, and you win some, you lose some. You end up here. So here we are. It's my third album, and I'm really excited.
What's the best part about this journey?
The absolute best part is, the part I'm most grateful for is being able to provide for my moms, put her in a house. I gave my brother a job. I gave my homies jobs. You know what I mean?
Like, this is great,
taking care of my
man.
grandma, and being able to do that, for those that took care of me, and that give back is ultimately every motivation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's that.
How's the album with you being vulnerable? I mean, talking about this road, how open do you become on the album? Do we get to hear it?
Yeah, I was talking to Puff, and that's not like a oh, let me sound cool or whatever.
No,
he
not
really
at
gave
all.
me some game, and
Really?
And he was just like, the best artists who make the best music are the most vulnerable.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Music, like, especially rap, a lot of it, can be this like invincible, cool guy, like macho, like, I get every girl I want. I'm the most popping. I buy whatever I want, whatever.
Right.
But like at the same time, if you can be that and you could be vulnerable, and you could really tap in with like, you connect with human beings here.
Yeah.
And it comes from here. That's where you relate a little bit deeper. You know what I'm saying? Because that music they identify with, it means something to them that'll have a lasting impression. Like when I made the record with Kehlani on my last album, Everything Will Be Okay.
Yeah.
That was a really hard song to do. I mean, it was therapeutic for me to make that because it was like me releasing that story I never really told. But for me to write that, I had to put myself there. I don't just make music to craft. I really like put myself in a memory or an emotional place.
That's tough,
or
man.
another person's place, and that's emotionally exhausting.
It's absolutely,
and then performing it every night. You know what I mean? Because I don't just like recite. I'm performing out of memory, out of like emotionally transplanting myself into the motivation of this song. So it's very draining, and that sometimes,
you have to recharge, man. I know you're a workaholic, and it's that's
you got
just,
it too. I mean, we both work too
and that's
hard.
The problem.
You know what I mean? It's like,
but you gotta recharge. You have to, Gene. I mean, you locked yourself up in your house doing over 100 records.
But that was my recharge. I've been on the road. I was touring the last album for a year. We played like 250 shows.
Damn.
In those days, and it was like okay, my recharge is being creative. Is my like, okay, let me tap out of this, because you got to tour, but you also got to write.
Right.
It's like it's tour, write, because you got to have new material all the time, and I had a studio on the bus, but it's you know what I mean. Like you only have so much time.
I was gonna say, does that really work or? It
works. It works sometimes, but you'll have interviews all day. You'll have like meet and greets with the fans who came. You'll have the radio station winners, the meet and greets. Then you'll have the show. Then you'll be off stage, and they'll be like, okay, you got to get to this club by this time to do this after party and perform again.
And then performing at half times at the Warriors game or whatever else you was doing. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of blessings, and you appreciate these blessings because you worked hard to put yourself in a position to receive them.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I just kind of had to like, turn everything off but the creative side, and just that's why it was beautiful having a studio in my house, and my engineer basically moved in.
That's so great.
Yeah, it was fire. It was like what I always dreamed of from being like a little kid when we would go to my house after school. I'm like me and all the homies like riding the bus to my house and recording every day until my mom would kick us out and be like, Gerald, it's a school night, you got to do your homework and wake up hella early, or whatever. I would look around that room in my house and be like, yo, like we've come a long way. This is dope.
Most of the songs on the album were made in your studio?
I think 99% of them. Yeah.
I really like how this feels.
Yeah.
I like how we're moving out here right now. I feel this is very personal. I'm very excited about this. The only thing I was surprised about is, you out and about with your boo. I was a little, but you know what? I'm proud of you at the same time. I think maybe because I've seen you and you've been like free spirit, but to see you at this point now, it all makes sense to me. How did you know it was that time? Like, help the fellas out here. Did something in you go?
Yeah, it did that. It clicked. I don't know. I was hella happy. Like hella happy, and I think that's everything. Not to just be super, you know, corny and sentimental, but like dead ass. I mean, I was just hella happy.
Yeah.
And you know, we just clicked like really well. You know, and I think a lot of times, like as artists, it's tough to fully understand like the world we live in, like the hectic lifestyle, the everything around it. So, you know, being able to relate and talk like that just as friends, you know, too. So.
And has your relationship inspired the album? I'm keeping it so nice.
You are. You're playing nice.
I'm being so nice.
Yeah, because you know that feeling, you know, definitely inspires you, you know, creatively, and
you guys do have a song on the album, right? Or am I tripping? Or am I reading? Okay.
Yeah.
Which is great because Halsey is a great artist.
And there's a parallel between the concept. So the name of the album comes after a book. It's this old book written by Fitzgerald.
Nice. This is awesome.
It's all perfect. And you know, it's about two people in love in the 20s. Yeah. And the 20s were a time of just when everybody was drinking too much and partying and living this crazy lifestyle. And they have this fantasy of like, you know, living this over the top life, but realizing how hard it is to sustain, you know, in this crazy world they lived in. And then the 30s were about to hit. You know, the 30s were right around the corner. They didn't know the Great Depression and everything was going to be gone. So, you know, that's like being in love in this time of like, you know, in my life is this crazy roller coaster and everything like that. And then, you know, knowing that everything was going on in the world right now, and you kind of feel like literally the world's about to end. You know what I mean? Like you have tragedies happening all over the world, like again and again and again. It's insane. So you kind of feel that like there's a fleeting feeling of like we're living in a chaotic time. Yeah. You know, and we're enjoying what's really high and really beautiful. For sure. And all that, but you know, there's something that feels like.
Yeah, and it feels weird right now. You know, that's why I think we all loved Eminem's, you know, the freestyle cipher on the BET Awards. What did you think when you saw that?
Incredible. I was grateful. You know, that's all you can say is thank you for like being the biggest voice, you know, and saying it so loud and saying it so accurately and so forcefully, you know, like passionately and genuinely. And I mean, it was incredible, you know, from every angle. He hit the topics like right on the head, you know, and you know, standing with Cap, you know, and saying that loud and, you know, being him, having his platform, his voice, and doing that was incredible, I thought. And he snapped.
Man,
I mean, that was dumb fire.
Them bars, I was
mean,
like.
He's, you know, there's a reason why. He's the greatest.
God.
You know, greatest. And, yeah.
God, and I had to listen to it over and over because I was like, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about a really great lyricist, and, you know, why I love hip-hop is, like, there's layers of the onion of the bars, you know what I mean? And that's, like, I'll still be catching, you know, bars, you know what I mean, that I didn't even fully peep, like, for years of listening to songs, you know what I mean? And that's just, like, when you uncover that, oh, that's what he was talking about, you know what I mean? That's, like, that's why we love it so much.
That's the power of hip-hop. Did you see, I hope everyone saw how excited you just got talking about that, because it's love. It's not even, oh, he's another artist doing it. It's like, no, that's love.
Nah, you can't do nothing but love greatness, you know, and just appreciate that it exists. It exists, it inspires us, it moves us, it makes us feel something, you know what I mean? That's the point of music should make you feel. Like that at the end of the day, most fundamentally, it should make you feel something. It should be a voice that brings people together, that, you know, connects and resonates with people. And, you know, he took that stage, that platform, and did that and killed it. So, I mean, endless, highest respect to him, period.
God,
that'll always
it was
be.
So good. And I don't know, maybe because we live it and we go through it, and obviously, you know, Colin being my significant other, but it's just when you get the culture support, I can't even explain how powerful that is, you know. And it's just when M, you know, because M doesn't really come out.
Nah.
He's that guy. He
definitely poked his head out and just made a loud statement. You know what I mean? Last night. So yeah, that was incredible.
Why do you think it's so important, in your opinion, being that, him being M and obviously white, and him using his privilege to address these issues? Like yourself, you've never shied away from, hey, I appreciate hip hop, everything that it's, I've been able to contribute this much to it, but look how much it's given me. Why do you think it's so important to hear this from you and M and whoever else?
It's our civil duty. I mean, that's just it, and especially in times like this, to address and to talk about and to have dialogue and conversation.
Do you get a lot of backlash from, I don't know, I feel like racist trolls?
I mean, I have a habit of not reading comments, and when I read Twitter or Instagram or something like that, it was a heavy grain of salt of like, the beautiful thing is everybody has a voice and everybody deserves to have a voice, but you also got to filter it to yourself to not let it like,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I talk to a lot of friends, artist friends, that like people with a lot more interaction and conversation and people talking about you.
Right.
Personally, like, if I post a pic and it's either a girl saying daddy, or it's a girl, or it's somebody like hating on me, calling me the worst thing to ever happen to music or something like that, and all that, it's like you can't really read into any of it and feel any type of way if you don't want your day to just be destroyed. You know what I mean?
How did you get to this point?
It's been a long time.
Yeah?
Yeah. But you just got to have thick skin to an extent. You know what I mean? What I pay attention to is like, when I talk to those that I respect and admire and know, you know what I mean? Like, I can't take something from a complete stranger that I don't know personally or doesn't, like, not that they don't deserve to have a voice. Everybody does. But I'm saying, like, when I call, 40 on the phone and I'm talking to him, just catching up.
And giving you gems.
Or I'm coming to you, you know what I mean? And having this conversation with you. Or, like I said, Puff, like, when me and him, sit down and really, like, catch up.
Yeah. Like,
people that I not only respect and look up to, but, like, can relate to on that level and just be completely honest with.
Transparent.
So that's,
Now, as far as music, before I let you go, who else do you want to work with? Because, look, you made over 100 records out here. Is there someone that you're just like, you know what? I really hope, being this is your third album.
Wow. I mean, I've always, this might sound cliche, but just growing up on Ye and being of that generation, always. Me and Ty Dolla $ign, every time I see him, man, I'm like, bro, how is it that we have not gotten in the studio yet? I was going to say, that
needs to happen.
Yeah, and just being from the West Coast and just, being two factors in California. And, let me think who else. Vince Staples is one of my favorite artists.
Yes.
I mean, I have really eclectic taste in music, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
Those would be
great. All over the place. Yeah.
For sure. And if you could have one inspirational, motivational conversation with anybody in this world, who would it be? If you just love to sit down and pick their brain, like, damn.
Yeah, either, Bass God or Dalai Lama. They're kind of one and the same. Yeah.
Help.
Yeah. Nah, Bass God or Dalai Lama, I think those are two people that, are extremely enlightened individuals, straight up. You know what I mean? Bass God's special. There's not another Bass God, period.
How are those conversations?
I talk to Brandon often. He's a good dude, like really special person. You know what I mean? It's not,
really?
There's no one else like him. Hell yeah. Yeah.
Like for me, it's different maybe because I always think of, I feel like that, but I don't know if other people understand that.
Yeah, it's not for everybody to understand, It's not for everybody to understand, so, but yeah, Dalai Lama, if you don't follow Dalai Lama on Twitter, do that now, man. That's just game. It's just game all day, man. Follow Dalai Lama, that's for real.
G, it's always good to see you. I'm so happy. I love the energy and space you're in. And to see you come this far and,
Likewise, for
stay
real.
Strong, keep the good fight up. And, we're always rooting for you. And I never have to worry about your music because you always give us quality.
For sure.
Every time I've seen you, it's never been, it's whatever. Here you go. It's, like I said, we're all proud of you. And more importantly, I'm just happy to see you happy because nothing can beat that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like all the success, all the money, all the fame, nothing means more than to see you happy in this space right now. So keep going, man. I'm happy for you.
Love, likewise.
Of course.
You got a glow right now.
Hey, man, we out here.
Out here just,
What can we complain about?
Yeah. I'm healthy and happy. How about you?
Yay. Thank you so much.